Welcome to Vick Law Summaries. We're looking at some key ideas around estate planning today. And the main focus, it's pretty straightforward, really. It's something we feel strongly about, making sure things are clear for the people we leave behind. Basically, don't leave a mess for your kids.
That's exactly right. We're digging into a Vick Law PC blog post. That's from May 9th, 2025, called Estate Planning. Be loving, be generous, be prepared. And the goal here is to pull out some, really practical steps you might want to think about for your own planning to get more organized, more thoughtful.
Yeah, and the story that really stuck with me from that post was about Mrs. Ann Blair, her son, at her memorial. He talked about how she handled everything with such, well, care and foresight. He even mentioned this binder she kept, just like clearly laying out all her estate planning stuff. It really
Right.
makes you think, that simple act of being organized, it just made a massive difference for her family when things were tough.
Oh, absolutely. Mrs. Blair's story, it just perfectly shows that getting your affairs sorted isn't just like ticking boxes on legal forms. It's genuinely a considerate thing to do, a loving thing. It's about, looking ahead and taking steps now so your loved ones don't face chaos and uncertainty later on.
Okay, so let's really get into that, this idea of being prepared. The blog post really drives home that having your ducks in a row, it's a real act of love. It's more than just paperwork, isn't it? It's about making sure your memory isn't sort of clouded by confusion for people who are already grieving.
Exactly. I mean, just think about how overwhelming it is to lose someone you care about. Then trying to sort through complicated estate plans or worse, missing ones, it just adds this huge layer of stress and, potential arguments for families already dealing with so much. Being prepared means taking that specific burden off their shoulders.
Right. So where do people even begin with getting prepared? The blog post lays out some essential tools. Let's maybe start with the one most people think of first, the will.
Yeah, a will is definitely a crucial starting point for most people. It's that legal document that clearly says how you want your assets distributed, your property, money, personal things after you pass away. And importantly, it also lets you do things like name guardians for minor children
Yeah.
and designate an executor that's a person you trust to manage everything according to your wishes.
Okay. Now, the post also brings up trusts. These sometimes feel a bit more, I don't know, complicated, but they seem to have some real benefits.
They can seem that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Trusts are basically legal setups where someone, the trustee, holds and manages assets for your beneficiaries. But what's interesting about trusts is their flexibility. Like you said, they have advantages. For instance, they can sometimes help avoid probate court, which can be public, take time, cost money. Plus, you can structure trust to handle specific needs, maybe manage assets over a longer time. It's worth remembering there are different kinds of trusts, too, for different situations, like a special needs trust, for example. That can provide for someone with disabilities without messing up their government benefits eligibility. That's a nuance people might miss.
That's a really useful point. Okay, then the blog post talks about power of attorney. This is huge while you're still living, right?
Oh, absolutely vital. A power of attorney is, well, it's a legal document. It gives someone you trust, they call them your agent, the authority to handle your finances if you become unable to. And the blog post specifically mentions a durable power of attorney, that durable part. It's critical. It means the document stays valid even if you become mentally incapacitated, which, let's face it, is often exactly when you need it most.
Right, right. And building on that, there's the healthcare power of attorney. That's specifically for medical decisions.
Yes, and this is such a critical one too. It lets you name someone you trust, someone who knows you, to make healthcare choices for you if you can't speak for yourself. Illness, injury, whatever it might be. The blog really stresses choosing someone who truly understands your values, your wishes about medical care. And it's a key difference. Regular power of attorney is financial. Healthcare power of attorney is medical. Important distinction.
Okay, so those cover times you're alive but can't make decisions. What about wishes for, end-of-life care specifically? That's where the advance directive comes in. Or living will.
Exactly. An advance directive, sometimes called a living will. That's where you outline your preferences for medical treatment if you can't make those decisions yourself. You can spell out whether you want life-sustaining treatments or not. It's your chance to make your voice heard, basically.
And the blog also mentions a DNR do not resuscitate order. How's that different from the advance directive?
Good question. A DNR is very specific. It's a direct medical order telling doctors not to perform CPR if your heart stops or you stop breathing. It's often relevant for people with certain health conditions or those who've made very clear end-of-life choices with their doctor. So while the advance directive covers broader treatment wishes, the DNR is a direct command in a specific emergency.
Got it. And The post really underlines the importance of thinking about and writing down your wishes on nutrition and hydration, too.
Yes, it rightly points out that your preferences on things like feeding tubes or IV fluids, especially in a terminal state or a persistent vegetative state, should be clearly stated, usually in your advance directive. These are deeply personal choices, and making them known beforehand gives so much clarity and support to your family and the medical team.
Okay, changing gears slightly, the blog also hits on something really practical that could easily get missed: insurance policies.
Yeah, this is such a down-to-earth point, but so important. The post just reminds us, make sure your policies are easy to find. Make sure your family knows what you have, where the documents are, how to actually access them. I mean, an insurance policy is useless if nobody knows it exists or how to make a claim, right? It's about making sure those resources are actually available when needed.
Makes sense. And beyond just family needs, estate planning can also be a way to support causes you believe in, right? Through charitable giving.
Absolutely. Your estate plan can be a really powerful way to give back. You can specify which charities you want to support and how much, or maybe which specific assets should go to them. Like the blog says, it lets your generosity live on after you. Support the things that matter to you. Plus, sometimes there can be tax benefits too, which is, another consideration.
Okay, this next topic. It can be uncomfortable to think about, I know. But the blog post really emphasizes why it's important. Planning your own funeral, obituary, burial details.
Yeah, it's definitely sensitive, no question. But as the post makes so clear, pre-planning these things, it can be an incredible gift to your family. It gives you the chance to say how you want things. The music, readings, those personal touches that really reflect who you were.
And practically speaking, it must just lift such a weight off your family's shoulders. Making those kinds of decisions while grieving sounds incredibly hard.
Exactly that. It saves your loved ones from that emotional and frankly logistical stress right when they're at their lowest. Plus, like the blog notes, planning ahead can help manage the costs, avoid unexpected financial strain on the family. You could even outline obituary details, decide on burial versus cremation, getting it all sorted.
Thinking back to Mrs. Blair again with her organized binder, it's just so clear her preparation was, well, an act of love. And all these different pieces we've talked about, the will, the powers of attorney, the funeral plans, they all circle back to that main idea, don't they? It's about giving that gift of clarity, of peace of mind to the people you care about most.
Precisely. And think about the flip side. What happens if you don't do these things? It can lead to so much confusion, potential disagreements between family members, extra legal hassles, just added emotional and financial weight during an already awful time.
So, yeah, the key message we really want you to take away from this Vick Law summary is this. Getting your estate plan sorted isn't just, responsible adulting. It's a deeply loving, generous act. It's about taking these essential steps now so you really don't leave a mess for your kids.
And for anyone listening in the Greenwood, Indiana area, Vick Law PC is right there. They can help you walk through all these important things. Help with wills, trusts, powers of attorney, healthcare directives, charitable giving, putting together a comprehensive plan that actually reflects what you want and protects the people you love.
We really just encourage you to think about taking that first step, whatever it looks like for you. Maybe consider reaching out to discuss your own situation. It truly is an act of love, and it brings such lasting peace of mind. For you, knowing it's handled, and for your family down the road.
To feel more secure. And